Hello everyone, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Now, the previous series in this game came to a close because at the time my GPU was starting to fail, so the game would constantly blue screen my computer and crash it. So now we're on a new PC, we're on a new GPU as well, and hopefully this time around we're able to actually get out and explore the solar system here. We're also doing a new career mode here, so we're doing the normal career where we have to balance our money and reputation as well as the science points and upgrade all of our facilities here to use better rocketry and all that jazz. So right now we have to level up all of our stuff. We can use all the tier 1 buildings until we need bigger and better rockets, then we start upgrading all these things. And we can also repair them if we accidentally blow up on the launch pad or send a rocket back into the buildings over here and break something as well, I suppose. Yeah, we can repair these ones as well. So we do want to try and avoid doing that as much as we can, but to start things off here, let's go on over to mission control and take a look at some of these missions that we can do, or little objectives that we can try, because they're going to allow us to generate more money and more science a little bit quicker, as well as doing all the basic stuff to get things up and running. At the start here, we are going to take all 4 of these if it allows us to do that, because they're all straightforward to do. One of them wants us to get into orbit, the other one wants us to get out of the atmosphere, and never mind, we can only take 2 at a time. So let's go ahead and try and complete both of those right now. One of them wants us just to take off from the launch pad, the other one wants us to do something else. Can I look at them while I'm in here? I can. Okay, so we can do both of these on this first launch here. So it wants us to launch, and it also wants us to recover some science. So that's real straightforward and some easy cash right away here. So we're going to just put that there. We're going to put a solid booster on the backside of that, and we are also going to want a parachute to make sure that we don't blow ourselves up here. And let's also smack one of these on there as well. Hopefully this doesn't make us uneven and start tumbling. Is there any other science things we can put on there right now? No, we got wings, but we have a solid booster, so we can't really do anything with it. All right, well, there wasn't much else we can do to the rocket here, so let's just send this one up. Hopefully, again, that does not cause a weight issue. That would be real unfortunate. Let's also enable SAS, so our Jebediah Kerman guy can actually keep the rocket straight here. But while this is going up, I'm going to wait until we're actually done accelerating, and then I'm going to do the science thing in this thingy here. So there we go. Let's actually check the map. How high are we going to hit? We're not going to hit very high. Okay, you know what? Let's just do this. Observe the mystery goo. We are going to get 7 science from that, so let's hold on to it. Let's also do a crew report and hold on to that as well. And we're also not able to EVA right now until we level up the astronaut complex. So that's something that we also want to level up just so we can get a little bit more science from our little runs here. So that's something that we want to keep an eye out for. And it kind of looks like we're going to be coming down on top of the buildings, which I don't really want to do, but it is what it is, I suppose. Let me speed up time a little bit here as well so we can go back down a little bit quicker. I'm not sure if it was because of the time speed up thing or because I popped my parachute so high, but our trajectory completely shifted. We looked like we were landing back on the buildings, but then when I popped it, our rocket here just went straight to the right, all the way into the ocean. So I mean, nothing's gonna happen because of this. It should be fine still, but we can at least speed up time once again here, and that's going to complete both of those objectives, and we get an extra, I think, 6 grand a piece there, so that way maybe we can pick up a new building or something, or just hold on to the cash for a little bit longer. We made 15 science from that run. We also recovered just about all of our money. We made 97.7% of our money back from that rocket. So it was like 2,030, I think, and we only made 1,928 back, so not bad. But now with those 2 contracts done, we have a whole bunch more to choose from. So we can also take the other 2 that we were initially going to take, which is break the 70,000 meter mark in the atmosphere, as well as get into an orbit. So both of those might be doable. Let me just double check real quick and see if we have the stuff. Like, we can use better engines, and this one is just more science stuff, as well as separators. So both of those are only 5 points, might as well. So we only have enough for 1 more unlock, and if we're able to get into orbit right now, then we get 2 more missions completed. So I'm gonna go with this. Well, actually, no, I'm gonna go with this one, because we get these side decouplers as well there. So let's, oh, these are 18. Oh, I thought there were 15. My bad. I was going off of this one. Okay, so never mind. We're going to hold on for 2 seconds because I'd rather pick up these side decouplers and build a bigger rocket like that. So let me see if I can put something together that might get us into orbit now that we have... Ooh, we have a little fuel tank. Maybe we do have to buy one of the other things. Actually, hold on 1 second. I'm not going to launch this one, but I want to see if we can get some more science, because you can usually just cheese it a little bit here and get like unnecessary science from the ground here, since we got our readings from up in the atmosphere. Not in the atmosphere, but we got our readings a little bit higher up into the air. So we got both of the things that we can get. Let's recover this. We should make all of our money back because we didn't even fire the engines. We got 4.5 science for that. We also made all of our money back because, yep, we didn't fire our engines. So now we can unlock this guy, and that is going to give us the side decouplers, which is nice. Let's go make a new rocket and hopefully break the 70,000 meter mark. So hopefully this is able to complete one of those quests, but we have 2 solid boosters as well as 6 fuel tanks connected to 1 single engine, and we also have a separator going from the fuel tank to the capsule here so that we're not coming back down with all the extra weight from this thing. But let's go ahead and see if this is going to work. So these solid boosters should take us a fair bit up. There's a little bit of a jiggle there since we don't have the struts unlocked just yet. We got to be a little careful with that, but we're going real fast. Real fast, and we are only at 3,000 meters. Ooh, I don't know if this is going to do it. Hopefully it does. We're going to separate it now, and I didn't put those into the correct thing. Oh, I did, never mind. Yep, I did that backwards, my bad. But let's try and go, that's too far to the side. Let's try and hook it onto a 90 and see if this is going to be able to get us there. I'm going to also slow it down just a little bit so we're not getting the drag going on the capsule here. Well, we're high enough not to be receiving the drag anymore. I'm going to kill the engine for 2 seconds and see. Yeah, we're probably not going to get as high as I would like. So let's just continue burning a little bit faster instead of as slow as I was. We definitely don't have enough fuel right now. We might get the 70,000, but we're definitely not going to get the orbit around Kerbal right now with the setup that we just did. There we go. We went a little bit past the 70,000 meter mark. Let's start doing the science stuff here. So I put 2 of these on there in case we did get into orbit, but I don't think it's going to matter if we do both of these. We're not going to be able to double dip the science like that, but there's that. Let's also take the temperature gauge. And did I do a crew report? I did indeed. Okay. So we are at 90,000. Let me actually reset this one because it looks like we're about to hit 100,000. So there we go. Let's do it again. And we're now getting 10 science. I don't know if that's what we were just getting on this one as well. Was it? It was indeed. Okay, well, it's probably not going to make a difference then. I'm actually going to reset one of the goo containers once more because we're still going up. We're going to hit probably like 280, not 280, like 180 maybe on height, and then we'll scan it again. I think I might have been able to get into orbit had I not burned anymore and waited until we got closer to our apex and then started burning again. Because this is somewhat decent. If we waited until here and then started burning, or we had a little bit more fuel and then started burning, we could have probably got into orbit as well right now. That was a little bit of an oopsie on my end. It doesn't look like we're going to hit the 200,000 meter mark, so let's just scan it again before we lose too much, and we're still getting 10, so I don't think it's going to matter. I think both of those are going to count as the same one when I took it the first time there, so that's whatever. We're hopefully going to make it back down, but I guess we can see here in a second. Let me start speeding up time here and see if we're going to burn up in the atmosphere because we don't have a heat shield yet. Oh, that's not a good sign. Yep, that's definitely not a good sign that we have those things popping up. The crew capsule, I think, is the thing that's turning that red. It's about to blow up. Okay. It wasn't the capsule. Oh, this is bad. Something else is about to blow up. The science stuff, all the science stuff is gone. The thermometer on the back's gone as well. Okay. So, luckily enough, Jeb didn't die. That's the important thing here. And we don't get any science from this run except for the crew report. So not a real good run, but at least we have one of the quest things done, which is going to give us a little bit of science from that as well as reputation. We got 16 science from that run because we are able to EVA while we're on the surface of Kerbal. So that was my bad. I forgot about that. But we only made $700 back from our initial rocket. That's probably not good. And let's see, no XP for Jeb that time, unfortunately, but now we should be able to buy the bigger rocket, but we don't need that, right? We need the heat shield at the moment. Let's get that. We have 13 points left over, not enough to do anything, so we'll hold on to that for 2 minutes. I don't remember if I just didn't take the contract or if I failed it somehow and it's just not showing up, but it's not on active, it's not in the archive, and it's also not here anymore, so I didn't get any points from that, I don't guess. Anyways, we're going to take 2 more contracts here. This one wants us to test out a parachute, as well as this one wants us testing a swivel engine, so we'll hopefully be able to use both of those here in a second. Oh, the engine that it wants us to test is the one that we just unlocked a moment ago, so we already have that on there, and then the parachute is also the one that we're already using, the MK16. So both of those should be fine. We just unlocked the heat shield, right? I just want to double check and make sure that's what we did. We did indeed. Okay, so I'm going to take the decoupler, throw one of the heat shields on there, and put the decoupler back. We're still within limits, right? We are indeed. Good. I'm just going to go ahead and launch it again. It's going to take us high enough to complete this thing most likely, as well as hopefully completing the other one as well here. I'm not going to bother renaming it because it's effectively the same rocket ship. And let me just very quickly enable this thing as well so we can see when we complete these things as well here. So the swivel engine one is effectively done already. It just wants us to splash down now, which is good. The parachute one wants us to hit 3,000 meters or 11,000 meters. So we're at 3,000, which is a good thing. We need to be traveling 10 meters a second, which we are apparently no longer doing. Oh, we're going way too fast. That's why. Okay. I see what's happening there. I just realized this might have been a little bit of a waste of money because I was going to try and get into orbit again, but we don't have that contract, so there's no point to doing it. Let me deploy the parachute because that's that contract done. And now we are hopefully going to be able to bring the whole rocket back down. Actually, you know what? It's not even done yet because we haven't even fired that engine. So I might have just messed that contract up. Let me do this. Right? Test the fuel engine. There you go. It's tested. There's no more testing that needs to be done. Okay. Let me try and slow ourselves down a little bit here so that we're not going too fast, which I don't think it really matters, honestly, but we should have a nice little splashdown here with a full rocket that isn't going to cost us too much to replace here. I didn't think this parachute would be strong enough to actually land with it, but it did. Slowing us down with the rocket engine really helped out there, so please don't explode when we land. Good. Do we still have the whole rocket under there? Nope. It all just vanished as we landed. Oh, that stinks. Okay. Well, let's get some science nonetheless before we head back. Keep that. Let's do one of these. Let's keep that as well. Let's also take the temperature gauge. Bam. Let us also EVA and grab some more cheesy science. So one of those. And we don't get anything because we've already done this. Oops. Well, last but not least, let's also do a crew report, which we've already done one. Did we do one? I don't know where that... Oh, the EVA probably is where that just came from. So let's recover this. Did we complete both of those contracts? We got a whopping 11 science on that run. We also made back 3,700, and we made almost all of our money back, so I guess the rocket landing in the ocean and just vanishing didn't actually do anything, so that's a good sign for us. We also didn't complete the swivel engine one, although both of the things were checked, so maybe because we activated the parachute and then landed with it, it might have been thinking that it was not the correct thing. So let's actually tear this apart then. We don't want this stuff anymore. We don't need to go that high. I'm only going to have one fuel tank so that we're not burning too much money on this. We also don't need all of this extra gubbins here. So this doesn't have any speed requirements to complete the contracts. So just by throttling this up, we got to hook it to the right because we have to splash down. So let's go that away immediately toward the ocean. And this should complete this quest this time around. I don't see why it wouldn't. So is this about to count as the contract completed? It gave me a double check mark again. So hopefully that's the case. No point in doing science stuff because we don't have anything on the rocket there. And it doesn't say that it completed it. Uh-oh. So it didn't complete the contract again, but I think I realized why. So it wants us to have both of these things completed. If we click on this, it tells you pretty much that. But I didn't think that we can fire the engine in the water because a minute ago when we landed with the big rocket, it just all vanished. So we're going to try this. I have a little solid booster and then I have the little rocket right here. So we're going to launch to the side and see if by like parachuting down into the ocean, it's going to let us keep our engine on the backside of our rocket. So let's go up and crank it to the right, and hopefully we clear the landmass here. That would be ideal. I want to go more to the right, but I can't. Okay, so let's separate that, and now we should be okay. I didn't activate this on accident, did I? I did not. Okay, so now we just wait until we land again. Let's speed up time just a smidge here so we can get this done and over with, hopefully. And let's not lawn dart into the ground here like a dum-dum. Let's do this, please. Thank you. Let's also activate our chutes. And we should, if it doesn't break the engine and make it all disappear, we should have the ability to launch it right now again. But we got to be careful not to go back up because we don't have another parachute on this thing. And no, it all broke off again. Well, actually, it all broke off, but it let me just engage it, which it sounded like it did. Did that trigger the thing? Nope, it's still not done. Okay, you know what? Let's try the other parachute, the one that's on the side of the thing, because the one on top there drops us butt first into the water, and that's probably why that's not working. All right, well, hopefully this works. And nope, it immediately separated the whole bottom half of the rocket again. All right, so I dropped the fuel tank completely. All we have is the engine, and it still broke off. Okay, maybe by entering the water with the capsule first, it'll keep the fuel tank intact here. Hopefully that's the case. Nope, of course not. So this is going to be the final attempt at this contract to try and get this thing done, but looking at the engine, we have a tolerance of 7 meters a second on impact. I think the last time that we just impacted the water there, or at least all the times that I can kind of remember, we were traveling around 12 to 9 meters a second. I don't exactly remember how fast, so what we're going to do is leave this single parachute on there, and we're also going to throw 2 of these guys on there as well. If this doesn't slow it down enough to allow it to impact at 7 meters or slower, then I honestly have no other clue on what to do here. Let me actually drop this down just a smidge so that we're kind of holding it from the centerpiece here. We have 3 parachutes. There's no way we're going to be going too fast with this thing. And before we also go again, let's see what this one is. The tolerance for the fuel tank is 6 meters a second. Okay. The capsule is 14, so that's why that hasn't broke at all every time we've done this. So I'm going to send this now. We should definitely be able to stop. There's no way we're not. Let me also name this the Mark 2.3 because we've done a lot of these. I don't know how many of these are going to make it into the episode, but we have been launching over and over and over again, and we just keep blowing up. All right, so the final try here. Hopefully this works. I don't actually want to cut it that narrow. Let's go a little bit higher so that we can keep our parachutes all active here. We're just at 1,000 meters. Are these going to activate this low? Yeah, they will. Okay, cool. So, are we over water? We are. Let me separate that so we can at least recover it. Let me also enable all of my parachutes. That should drop us into the water. And we got to keep an eye on our travel speed here and make sure that we're not going faster than 7, or at least 6, because if we're going faster than 6, then the fuel tank is what's going to break. Well, that's looking good. We are traveling at 5.3 to 5.5, so we are half a meter a second slower than the fuel tank is rated at, so nothing should break. Ideally here. Let me also turn it back into 1x mode just in case the speed up there is going to cause the engine to explode again. There we go. Nice. Finally. We also want to be a little careful not to thrust too much because now we have no parachutes whatsoever. And if we go back up out of the water, we're going to kill our dude. So there we go. That's all we had to do was slow it way down. Here's another one that's going to be really easy for us to do. It wants us to test a heat shield on the launch pad. So let's take that one. We're also going to do this one as well, but that's going to be after the one that we're about to do. So let me just take it as well. So the easy one here is going to want us to test the heat shield. So all we got to do is plop a thingy down and then smack one of the heat shields on there. Actually, does it tell me? The 6.251. So this guy here, and let's actually put that on top, I guess, since it's small. And now that it's on the launch pad here, all we got to do is test it. So run the test, and that is that thing done. That's pretty cool. Okay. And then I was expecting the whole thing to blow up there, but it didn't, luckily enough. But that was some easy cash. So let's also go do the other one here that we already took. So we need to have the white parachute on our thing again, the MK16. Why can I not grab this thing? We might honestly be able to get away with using the one that we just used for the engine testing. So I think it was 2, or actually 2.3, right? Is the one that we had at the end of it there. Yeah, let me take these parachutes off the side because we don't need them anymore. And all we got to do pretty much is enable flight. We should hit the speed requirement and the altitude requirement off of this single booster, unless we're not going to get it because we're not going the right way. There we go, and we can activate the parachute. We activate the parachute, there we go, and that is that one done as well. Now we just got to make sure that we land and not do something dumb. And we can do an EVA report. There we go, we got some science. That's great. Can we get back up to our thing? I don't think we can. What happens if we recover vessel without this guy being on it? Is that going to be bad? Well, I guess we'll see what happens when we recover that. Is Jeb just going to be out on the landing pad? Because that's not going to be good. He looks like it, maybe. Oh, actually, no, we got him back. Okay, what is this then? I don't know why that's still there, but okay, let's recover that as well. And there we go. We got some more cash back in our inventory. Let us also level up our launch pad so we can use bigger rockets. It's only going to cost us 50 grand. We can also... Nope, we can't do that. Never mind. We can level up our astronaut complex so we can EVA in space now. There we go. And do we have enough to upgrade this? We need 150 for that. 225 was it for this? Yeah, okay. So we need a lot more cash to get these two buildings upgraded. I don't know if there's a reason to upgrade this thing, to be honest, which maybe not. It says research limit to 100, so maybe we can only store 100 science at a time, which is not good after this point here. But anyways, we have 31 science, so let's pick something up if we can. All of these guys are 45. Okay, let's pick up this thing then. That gives us a bigger solid booster and another fuel tank as well as an engine, so that's pretty neat. But anyways, I think for today, that is actually going to be it for today's episode. Next episode, we're going to try this thing here, going into orbit. We might be able to do that now. But anyways, that is going to be it for today's episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.